just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Niori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Niori. No!
Wait, please. Wait, What was that? That... How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Oh, right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone? I need to find them. Better start looking. Niori. Shion. Damn it.
Alphen?
Finwell.
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Finwell. Where are we?
Ganath Haros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
Speaking of Thistleum, it's populated by Danans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. Pretty refreshing, huh? The whole town was built by Danan defectors, escapees from elsewhere. This area's teeming with stray Zoogles, though, so heaven only knows how they managed to set up a community here. The ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Kisara and La are back there right now trying to convince them of our good intentions. Say, Alphen, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah.
And your sense of pain, too, it would seem. Any connection?
Really? Oh, but that means...
Probably.
Alphen! Boy, am I glad to see you safe.
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Shion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegus.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dano. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Danan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegis is true, then maybe you really did meet Shion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Shion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Shion I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renin maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Shion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imeris.
Imeris? As in Shion Imeris?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renin invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphen, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, Alphen.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Danon, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Danon for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or 2 ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going. What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But, if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kinda my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you. Alphen! There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alphen, right! Great to have you back! Now let's do this!
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come! Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
you know, this limb kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me, and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion, then we defeat Volron, and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go. Hey, Rinwell. Do you always have to say an incantation before you cast an art?
Yeah, they don't really add any extra power or anything, but reciting them is what allows the astral energy to come together and flow through me. It takes time to complete, but they're what lets me use such strong magic in the first place.
What happens if someone interrupts you while you're in the middle of chanting?
Then I have to start over from the beginning. As soon as my concentration breaks, any astral energy I've accumulated disperses.
Got it. So once you start reciting, that's our cue to make sure that no enemies can get near enough to disrupt you.
Yeah, that would be appreciated. Although, I do have one fun trick up my sleeve. Once I finish chanting a full incantation, I can hold on to a single astral art without casting it right away.
So once the astral energy's in place, you can choose to set it off whenever you want? That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't fully have the hang of it just yet, but I'm sure it'll come in handy sooner or later.
What's up?
Once we get to the mountain, the terrain won't be easy. We should rest up here before pressing on.
But what about Xion? She's waiting for us.
All the more reason to conserve our energy.
Huh?
It's not only the mountain. Hard though that may be, it's a pittance compared to what follows. Namely Volron. We wear ourselves out now, or worse still, get injured. We might as well show up gift-wrapped. Right, Kisara?
That's right. Besides, Alphen still hasn't fully recuperated yet.
I'm fine. Don't stop on my account.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, it's me who wants to take a rest for a while. Does that suit you better?
A little bit.
So, Alphen, 300 years, huh? Care to share the secret to such a long and healthy life?
I wish I knew. Once I left Lenegis, the next thing I remember is waking up in Calaglia. Everything in between is a blank.
You mean there are still gaps in your memory?
I've heard of starships with devices that can stave off imminent death by putting their passenger into a deep sleep. They're usually only intended as a temporary solution. until proper treatment for an ailment or injury can be obtained.
You think he might have been asleep in that starship for 300 years? But why? What would be the point?
Might this Naori have had a hand in it?
What do you mean?
If she's Renin like you say she is, she would have understood how to operate the starship better than yourself.
You're saying she deliberately put me to sleep for 300 years?
Dohalim, that's a bit of a leap.
Forgive me, I spoke out of turn. I'm merely thinking aloud, that's all. Shion and the maiden Naori. After 300 years, it's not unreasonable to suspect they may be related. Shion is nearly the perfect image of her, yes? She also just so happens to be connected to you. Is it merely a coincidence?
Like I've told you 1,000,000 times already, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it couldn't have been Naori, then I guess I must have been mistaken. Complicated machinery can sometimes break down or have failures. Sorry for being presumptuous.
Hold on a sec. Alphen, you said the mask was to placate you, right? To keep your guilt and rage in check? And you were wearing it the whole time you were asleep, right?
I guess I must have been.
So that's 300 years you were wearing it. It's just a hunch, but do you think that the mask might be...
The reason he lost all his memories?
All but a select few strong ones, so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he saw them in the form of dreams. It's not completely out of the question.
In which case, maybe it was the mask numbing his sense of pain, too.
It's certainly possible. As for how, I wouldn't know, but the dampening effect on his psyche could have manifested itself physically as well.
I'm sorry for snapping at you back there. It's thanks to you that I feel like that we're finally getting somewhere with all this.
No apologies necessary. Reading others' feelings has never been my strong suit.
So he finally admits it.
Alone. I'm all alone. What is this place?
Careful, we've got company!
Doesn't look like we're getting past without a fight.
Watch your feet! Fall from here and it's curtains.
With fauna like that, I'm impressed so many people from Thistle made it through here alive.
Who's to say there weren't a whole lot more of them who didn't?
Well, at any rate, it should be a safer climb now that we've cleared the way a bit, right?
No. So long as people feel the need to face terrain this perilous, I'd say true safety's some way off.
You mean defeating Volron and putting an end to the crown contest, right? I guess that would be the best solution here, huh?
We did it. We've reached the top of the mountain.
About damn time. My knees are singing symphonies over here.
Look, there it is.
That's it. That's Pelegion, the seat of Volron's power.
So that's where Shion's being held?
Most likely.
Most likely.
That is what I said, yes.
Pelagian's still our best lead. So that's where we go, right?
Any advice before we head in there?
No.
No?
In the ancient tongue, Ganath Haros means Fortress of Naught, though I fail to see what insight that nugget of trivia holds.
I guess I just thought you might have something we could use.
Since Volron became Lord, the only thing this realm has been known for is its shroud of secrecy. It is Volron's stronghold. All else is incidental. Just keep in mind that you can't be too careful inside.
Speaking of which, just how are all of us planning to get inside exactly?
It's not like there are any secret passages.
We've come this far. If there's no other way in, I guess we'll just have to use the front gate. Volron told us to come find him, which means he's expecting us. Let's do this the old-fashioned way.
Sorry for rambling on so much about my past earlier.
Don't sweat it. It was fun hearing you reminisce about the good old days.
Come on, you don't have to pretend with me. I know I can tend to go on sometimes, when it comes to my brother.
You said it, not me. Anyway, I don't think it's something for you to be embarrassed about.
Hey, Alphen. When you were a kid, was there ever a time when you had to bury someone younger than you?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm guessing that you have, though.
Yeah. During the previous crown contest, with the Lord before Dohalim. Life back then was truly hell. I think that's why I tried to ignore what Miguel was telling me for so long. Because I was afraid of going back to such a dark time, of losing hope. I wanted to believe in our paradise so much that I doubted the one person I should have trusted most. I don't blame Dohalim for that. I simply didn't want to face facts. And I ended up trying to project my ideals onto everyone else.
It's strange. Whenever you and Dohalim talk about Menancia, it's always like it's some big failure. We're talking about fixing 300 years worth of damage here. Isn't it a bit optimistic to think it was all going to be resolved after only 5?
You might be right. Maybe it was a mistake when Menancia... No. When I decided to stop seeing the darkness in our society. I have to admit the truth. To myself, first of all.
Are you Alphen and his companions?
Why would you think that?
You are the only one scheduled to arrive, and there are no unscheduled arrivals in Ganath Haros. So I'll ask again, are you Alphen and his companions?
We are.
Then pass. Lord Volron is expecting you at Castle Del Faris.
Well, suppose it's rather nice of them to roll out the red carpet for us.
Not a slave in sight. Where is everyone? There aren't even any soldiers.
Something feels off. I don't like it.
Like the fact that the enemy could ambush us at any moment? Yeah, not crazy about that either.
No, not that. Something else.
That must be Volron's castle up ahead. I suppose we just walk right up to it then?
That's what the guard from before said. Now, if we only knew where they were keeping Shion, we could try to...
That's it!
Hmm?
That weird feeling. It's not just that the city is empty. It feels like no one lives here at all.
Now that you mention it, it does feel strangely... artificial. Think maybe it's a district just for the Renans alone?
With all this open space, seems unlikely.
Huh?
Glory be to Ganath Haros. Glory be to Volra. Glory be to Ganath Haros. Glory be to Volra. Glory
Hey!
be to Ganath
You guys!
Haros.
What's going on?
Glory be to Volra. Glory be to Ganath Haros. Glory be to Volra. Glory be to Ganath Haros.
What was that about? They were Danans, right?
That wasn't normal. Wait, you don't think it could have been the fruit of Helgen, do you?
No, they seem too docile. What about astral energy? Could you sense any coming from them?
No, and I'm pretty sure I could tell if it was. If not that, though, then what?
Speaking of which, it didn't look like there was anyone guarding them either.
They were headed for the castle.
No good. It's a dead end.
I don't relish our chances climbing. Or breaking through, for that matter.
And yet, this seems to be the only way inside. Take a look around. There must be a switch or something to...
What? What is it this time?
Look! Over there!
Alphen!
Astral energy? But then... that means...
Snap out of it! Can't you see what's happening? You're being deceived! Please stop! You'll die!
Damn it!
Full Run is killing you! You need to run! Please, get off the boat!
What just happened?
We're being summoned.
Summoned? By that murdering monster?
It's all a demonstration designed to provoke. To prove to us, no, to Alphen, just what he's capable of.
Kidnapping Shion. Killing all those people. If it's just me he's after, then why hurt them? Why do all this just to get at me? You hear me, Volron? Answer me!
Alphen, this is not your fault. Don't give this to him.
I know. And I won't. My hands are stained with blood. But even so, if we're going to stop that bastard, then I need to keep going. Let's move.
I don't know what to do. Things can't go on like this.
What do you mean?
Ah! Oh! It's you, Rinwell.
You were talking about me, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. I've just been thinking about some things.
Really? How unusual.
Cut it out. I'm being serious here.
Sorry.
I was thinking about... You know how I used to work for Ganabelt back when I was in Cyslodea?
Yeah, of course. You were brought in after the Snake Eyes killed your friends, right? I mean, you had to.
Right. I used to have nightmares about it when I fell asleep. But lately that's been happening a lot less. I don't know how to feel about that.
That's a good thing, isn't it? You should be happy.
Yeah, but... I did a lot of terrible things back then. And I'm scared I'm starting to forget what I did.
Okay, so let me just get all of this straight. You think you'll forget everything if you stop having those nightmares? Why?
Because... You know me. I'm freaking stupid.
But it sure doesn't sound to me like you've forgotten.
Well, yeah, but still.
I don't think those nightmares going away means you've forgotten. Maybe it's a sign that you've come to terms with what you did.
Come to terms? You mean like Alphen with his past? You think that's what's happening?
Yeah, I do. You're pretty amazing, Law.
I am?
Yeah. Not all of us have figured out how to accept our pasts. Least of all, me.
Rinwell.
Is this what I think it is? Those people, they were all...
He's sick. Sick and deranged.
Remember this well. This is the true face of who we're up against.
All of those people in the boats. Do you think they had any idea what was going to happen to them?
They did a damn good job of concealing it if they did. You ask me, the only thing on their mind was following orders.
And I bet I can guess who from. Volron.
The only thing they knew was mindless oppression right to the very end. What kind of purpose is that? Living only to die at your master's whim?
Being a slave means having your whole life stolen from you. In the worst cases, quite literally. That bastard will get what's coming to him. I'll see to it he does.
Is it just me, or does Rinwell suddenly seem much more comfortable around Dohalim than she used to?
I noticed that too. When the two of them came and found me together back on the beach, I could hardly believe my eyes.
It's not like we had a choice or anything. Law and Kisara had to hang back to convince the villagers we meant them no harm. More than that, though. There are a lot of things I've still got to come to terms with regarding Almadria. But I guess I'm through making snap judgments based on someone's origin. At least, I'm trying to be. I guess you could say it's a work in progress.
I see. You hear that, Law? Sounds like all that hard effort wasn't for nothing.
Yeah.
That's got to be reassuring to hear. Right, Dohalim?
Not being subjected to unwarranted suspicion is certainly welcome.
Yeah, that long-winded way you have of talking, though, not so much a fan of that.
I think that's more of a personality thing than a Renin trait.
Really? In that case, I won't have to feel guilty getting annoyed by it.
Shion!
Wait! Something's not right.
Everyone. They're gone. And I'm all alone. It's dark. Please help me.
Shion,
It's so dark. Everyone.
we came to save you. It's okay now.
And I'm all alone. It's dark. Please help me. No.
Shion?
Lies.
The thorns just keep growing back. If this keeps up, then...
Please wake up, Shion! Come back to us!
I'm alone. Alone? I'm completely alone.
You're wrong.
Alvin!
She thinks we left her all alone. She can't see us or hear us. All of this. It's because I pulled away from you. Because I couldn't hold on to you. Shion. But you're not alone anymore. Law's here. And Rinwell too. Kisara. And Dohaling. And so am I. Believe me when I say, you are not alone. So please, don't give up on us. We will bear your thorns together. I swear it. Shion.
Alvin!
How many times do I have to tell you? Not to be so careless.
There is no more time for us to rest.
Let us finish this. I entrust this blade to you once more.
Let's go. Full Run is waiting.
Hey, Alvin?
What is it?
While I was away, what did you do?
I missed you.
Alvin. But after what happened because of me,
I got a glimpse of the real you. It was worth it. You could say the pain is some kind of reward.
Some reward. You sure all that hurt hasn't done something to your head, too?
Hey now.
Is it just me, or are they...
It's been a while. They're just happy to see each other.
I know. I mean, it's fine.
We all express ourselves in different ways. Leave them be.
They should get a room.
Must be Volron's Imperial Guard.
They don't seem to be keeping lookout. More like they're waiting.
Oh well, the royal welcome was nice while it lasted.
Time to get our fists dirty, huh?
Wait, we don't have a plan!
As far as Law's concerned, this is the plan. Let's go!
Well, that didn't feel great. Those soldiers were just like the slaves, driven by a warped sense of loyalty.
Yeah, that was just about as hollow a victory as they come.
It's strange. I always thought loyalty was one of the greatest virtues out there. Now I'm not so sure. Is it simply a question of where your loyalties lie? Or is it fealty itself that's the problem?
Maybe it only becomes a problem the moment you stop thinking for yourself.
So if we defeat Volron, you think they might learn to think independently again?
Actually, no. Never mind. This isn't the time. We can worry about that after we finish the task at hand and defeat Volron.
What is this place?
Look! Over there! Looks like there's no backing out now.
Ah, the old roaring beast welcome, eh? No class.
Look sharp, everyone!
We did it. Everyone hanging in there?
Just about. Though if we have to waste our energy on many more like that, I don't fancy our chances against Volron. We gotta try to conserve.
That sound again.
He must be worried we'll have a change of heart. He's certainly pulling out all the stops.
Alphen, I know it's hard, but we have to stay focused on moving forward.
I know.
Are you doing okay, Shion?
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
We don't know what else Volron's got up his sleeve. Be careful, all right?
I'll go check and see if the coast is clear.
What is it?
Oh, it's nothing. Just wondering what that was all about.
Huh?
It's just, you don't think Shion is acting kinda weird around Alphen, do you?
Like standoffish weird? Isn't she always like that?
No, not that. I mean, since we rescued her.
Then I guess. Maybe it's the identical ancestor thing.
Maybe. I guess that could be it.
You sure you're not reading into it? What? What'd I say?
Nothing. Just forget it.
I can never win with you. You know that?
This area's the grandest looking of the lot, and not a single soldier in sight.
So probably the place. This is it, everyone. We can't let Volron treat people's lives like toys any longer. We need to put an end to his tyranny here and now. Everyone ready?
Ready.
We've come this far.
Without question.
I'm nervous, but I know what needs to be done.
We've come for you, Volron!
Did you really come all this way, just so I could take you back over his dead body?
Bastard!
He dismissed them?
He must not think he needs them to defeat us.
Why have you been coming after me? Isn't it your ambition to become the winner of the crown contest?
My ambition, you say? I have no ambitions. Since the beginning, everything was mine to control. Everything, including your life. Got him! It's all over. Volron. Now put an end to that death procession you're holding outside. Right now! You think this is over? What? Who do you think you are?
No, that's... How can this be? If Alpin's the Sovereign, how is it possible that Volron has that crest as well?
And if Volron's the Sovereign, then what was the point of the crown contest?
After everything we've witnessed, it would seem the whole thing is a ruse.
Bow before your sovereign. next!
Is it over?
Yeah, I think so. There. We finally collected all of the Master Cores. So what do we do now?
It is said that bringing all the Master Cores together in one place should form the Renis Alma.
So, now we put Shion's with the rest.
With that, we can finally free her of her thorns.
What's going on? Are we missing something?
We can't be. So why isn't it?
Alphen! Behind you!
Shion, are you the maiden?
What is this? Why is this happening?
What the? The Master Cores!
Is that darkness? A Dark Master Core?
Renis Alma!
The Renis Alma. It's here.
What's going on? The Renis Alma's only supposed to consist of the 5 Danon elements.
What do you think you're doing?
She disappeared?
What in the world just happened?
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun.
A month has passed. For the time being, we decided to stay put in Ganath Haros. Even with their lord toppled, we had a long way to go before the people of Pelegion would be liberated in their hearts and minds. Lenegis hung ominously over our heads. We knew we'd need to deal with it sooner or later. We still had so many questions. The two sovereigns, the Red Woman and the Renaissance, the present and the past of 300 years ago. Not to mention what happened to Volron's body after his defeat. Still, we were determined to keep fighting. I had my hands full taking care of everything. But in some ways, I was kind of grateful to be so busy.
Are you all right? You looked like you were spacing out there.
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. You need something?
It's about that citizen's petition. I was coming to talk to you about it. If I'm being honest, I think the problems of this realm's Danans hit close to home for me.
Oh?
You saw how things were in Menancia. We might have put way too much faith in Dohalim, but at least we could still think independently. The people of this realm weren't even afforded that much basic dignity. I don't know what kind of future the people here are going to ultimately choose. But whatever it is they decide, I want to help do my part so they can make that decision of their own free will.
You mean like how the Danans and Renans of Menancia chose to remain committed to coexistence? It'd be nice if this was a step towards that dream.
That's another issue altogether. At the very least, I want to believe all our hard work will pay off in the end.
Yeah. I guess we can only focus on what we can do right now and take it from there.
I'm going to go on ahead. Would you mind talking to Shion for me? Once you're ready, we'll meet up at the castle entrance like usual. We can talk more there.
Right. Got it.
Is something going on?
Sounds like it. Kisara wants us all to meet at the castle entrance. Taking in the view again?
Yeah. Looking at the scenery helps take my mind off things.
Like what?
Being a maiden. Whether I really am a descendant of Naori. Those kinds of things.
So, are you mad at me?
For what?
I destroyed the Renaissance. Right as you were about to get rid of your thorns forever.
Why did you destroy it?
When I saw it appear in front of me, it reminded me of what happened back on Lenegis. And the rest was... it was all just a blur. I'm sorry.
It must have been a pretty terrible memory. Besides, we don't know that the Renis Alma actually was destroyed. For all we know, it might have disappeared with that Red Woman.
If so, then why are
Don't. It's okay. You brought me back. You got me away from Volron. That's enough for now. Let's get going. We shouldn't keep everyone waiting.
Oh, it's you two. I suppose that makes me the last one then.
We better get a move on, or else we'll never hear the end of it from Kisara.
Right you are. A month has passed since we vanquished Volron. I would have thought that the Renans on Lenegis would have made their move by now. Yet they still remain as silent as ever. We have no idea what happened to Volron's body, nor its whereabouts. The Red Woman also has yet to reappear, for that matter. And contrary to what I had heard, when the Renis Alma formed, not 5, but 6 elements were present, with darkness constituting the 6th and final Master Core. Were either of you aware of this?
You mean about the Renis Alma? Of course not.
Same. I had no idea a Darkness Master Core even existed.
What about Shion's maiden powers?
No. That was the first I learned about that, too. Or anything about having that power.
Me too. I remember thinking the same thing.
What could it all mean, I wonder? There are so many questions with too few answers, particularly when it comes to that Red Woman and her abilities.
Or at any other ability that used astral energy, I'd say it was an astral art. But hers was different.
Speaking of astral energy, we also mustn't forget that while the other Master Cores disappeared when forming the Renis Alma, for some reason the Fire Master Core remained. It may well have been the work of your maidenly powers. Alphen, are you still able to wield the blazing sword as before?
For now, at least. That Renis Alma sucked most of the energy out of the Fire Master Core, but it still has enough for me to use the sword.
And the sword is safe inside of me for the time being.
Good. At least that's one thing we needn't concern ourselves over.
You can say that again. We have more than enough to deal with as it is. Let's go.
Hey, wait up!
I've talked to the soldiers and made it clear that they are to remain in line. Things should stay calm for the time being.
I know Renans tend to take authority extremely seriously, but you sure know how to throw your weight around as a former lord.
I only managed to get through to them because Volron's curse is lifting, but not to the extent that they can act independently as of yet. Considering we had other matters to attend to for the past month, we should consider ourselves lucky that nothing occurred during our absence.
But if they do start operating independently again, that's going to cause a whole new set of problems to deal with.
Indeed. Ganath Haros is unlike Menancia. Without intervention, they'll likely revert to oppressing the Danans as they were doing before.
Meaning there's still a lot of work to be done in this realm. Not that there aren't problems among the Danans, too.
Yes. There was no way to avoid the deep-seated conflicts that had festered here. But I just hate that we had to use your position as a lord to solve the situation, Dohalim.
Had I not intervened, yet more blood would have spilled here, and nobody wishes for that.
So, what's going to happen to the Renans here now?
Why do you ask?
We've stripped the soldiers of their armor and locked them up. They can't hurt you guys anymore. I promise.
So they're alive? They're not going to die?
What?
Those people deceived us. They did terrible, terrible things to us. They made us suffer. Long before you guys came along. For years and years and years. It was constant. Never stopped. Not even for a day. So many people died. Our parents, our children, our friends. They all died. They were murdered. And it was the Renans. The Renans were the ones who did it. They killed us. Why do they get to live after so many of us have died? The bastards should die! Every last one of them!
I know how you feel, Ganya. I used to be a slave, and I hated the Renans just like you. I took up the blazing sword to bring them down. But along the way, I've met many people and seen many things. People refusing the hand life dealt them. People who have lost loved ones, but are still trying to make this world a better place. People driven by hate who stopped before it was too late. those who couldn't and paid with their lives. And I fought plenty of people who were all too happy to make others suffer. Believe me. But after a while, I came to realize that it's not the Renans who are our true enemies.
Then what the hell are we fighting if it's not them?
We're fighting against anyone who tries to take what doesn't belong to them.
But that's what these Renans are doing. How is that any different?
Because I judge everyone by their own actions. That goes for Danans too. Because at the end of the day, at the root of all evils committed is an individual who committed them.
You're right, Alphen. It seems like people are either blaming an entire race for one individual's sins, or an individual for everyone else's mistakes. But all that does is add more hate in a world that's already full of it. I want to help create a society where people can finally stop suffering and move beyond their pain. But if we try to do that with more violence, then we'll just end up right back where we started in the first place.
All right. Have it your way. I can't argue with the folks that helped us get back our ability to think and speak freely again.
Is that to say you trust us then?
I don't trust the Renans as far as I can throw them. I trust you guys because of who you are and what you've done.
Fair enough. We won't let you down, Ganya.
What's the matter, Kisara? Is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing. It's fine, really. I'm just a bit worried about what'll happen to all these folks.
Right. It'll take time before they start thinking for themselves again.
Indeed, that is part of it. However, what I'm even more worried about is what will happen to them after that. What do you think they're going to want once they realize how cruel Volron was to them?
Probably revenge.
What happened to Ganath Haros is the worst form of oppression we've seen, but treated cruelly or kindly, slaves will rise up.
Lenegis aside, there are still remnants of Renan supremacists scattered throughout Dana.
You mean all that trouble we went through to get rid of the Lords might just lead to more violence? That's the last thing I want to see happen.
Of course not. And if we don't do something to prevent it all from starting up again, there could be even more bloodshed for us to regret. There's still a lot we don't know about the Renan rulers. Whatever the face of truth behind their veil, it's on us to put a stop to them. But there is one thing that's clear. Whatever we do to finally end it, our motives can't be getting back at the Renans, or it'll all be for nothing.
So, what exactly is it that you're saying? That we should just act as if nothing happened?
Law's right. We can't expect everyone to just forget all the pain they've endured up until now. Not so easily, at least.
But we have to at least try to change course. We can't just keep allowing history to repeat itself like this.
Exactly. Look, I won't deny that between the crown contest and 300 years of oppression, there's a lot of bad blood between the Danans and the Renans. But all these problems are just too big for us to try to carry the burden on our own. We'll keep doing our part in the interim, but we need to take this one battle at a time. Where are you going?
Since when do I need your permission to move around?
I wasn't saying that you do. Though I'm not sure why you're biting my head off about it either.
Oh, that's so typical of you. How can you be so relaxed about all this? At this very moment, the enemy is doing who knows what behind the scenes, and yet we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs in Ganath Haros.
I know that, but our hands are tied right now. What do you want me to do? And what's gotten into you anyway? Is there something you want to say to me, Shion?
Look, you're right. Forget I said anything.
If I said something to hurt you, I'm sorry. But I honestly don't know what I said to upset you so much. I really wish you would tell me.
You don't need to apologize. You didn't say anything. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. Not really.
Then why?
Please just drop it. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. If that's what you want, I won't push any further.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just don't be too hard on yourself, okay? What's that noise?
Alfred, this is bad! Look at the sky!
Huh?
What's happening to Rena and Lenegis?
It looks like Lenegis is transforming? But into what? What's going on?
How the hell are we supposed to fight the Renans if they're packing that kind of arsenal?
It seems they've broken their silence at last. My concern is that object they've dropped into the water. It's as if they're driving a literal wedge into Dana.
Not just into Dana, but her own resistance, too. And what's with that beam of light coming down from above? Got any idea what that could be?
Astral energy.
Are you serious? All of that is astral energy? But that...
It's a lot for sure. Not even all the astral energy harvested by every lord combined compares to that column.
They're trying to squeeze every last bit of energy out of the planet.
But why? I thought they only needed to harvest astral energy as part of the crown contest.
Who cares? If we don't stop it now, the whole of Dana is going to be hollowed into oblivion.
Oblivion.
Do you think that red woman is behind this?
It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Just as the Sovereign, the Maiden, and all 5 Master Cores are gathered in one location, she appears out of nowhere bearing a 6th core. She then forces the 2 of you to help her assemble the Renis Alma. Just what kind of person is this woman?
You mean you don't know her?
Pardon?
She was there at your palace, wasn't she? I figured you knew who she was.
Are you saying I should be familiar with this woman?
Well, sure. I remember seeing her with you back at Adelina Palace several times. Everyone in the guard always wondered who she was.
Now that you mention it, I remember seeing her with Balsif, too. You saw her, right, Shion? Shion?
Oh, sorry, I drifted off. As far as I remember, the first time I saw her was when we ran into her in Pelagian.
Seriously? How could you two not notice her before? She sticks out like a sore thumb.
I guess I always figured she kept an eye on the lords for the Renin top brass.
You're sure you don't remember ever seeing her before?
I'm certain of it. My memory has never failed me.
But if it's not that, then...
We'll get to the bottom of this later. Right now, that wedge is a bigger concern.
Well, what are we gonna do then? We're not gonna be able to leave Ganath Haros until we come up with a plan, right?
Cislodia lies beyond the northern mountain range.
Yeah, but we haven't found a single route through those mountains while we've been here. And we haven't gotten clues from any of the freed locals either.
Surely there must be a way through. This realm can't have been completely isolated from the rest of the outside world for 300 years. Volron may have simply sealed and hidden it.
Okay, then let's try asking the townspeople again if they know anything. Who knows? We might have missed something the first time around.
Sounds good to me. Better that than trying to build a boat from scratch. Let's start searching.
armored soldiers!
Some of Volron's former guards.
Let's take them out quick before things get messy.
Oh, damn dramatic!
What's with the hole here? Is that supposed to be their hideout?
It doesn't look like it's freshly dug, whatever it is. Maybe it's the entrance to a path to Cyslodia. Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go.